Hello everybody, I'm Miguel Suarez and today I'm going to present you my master's thesis carried out at the Doñana Biological Station, in which we study the selection of nesting habitats for the beetles, and titled Risks and Benefits of Living on the Road, the case of the beetles in Doñana. Beetles are a gregarious species, usually nesting in colonized and on slightly sloping ground. In Doñana, they occupy a wide range of nesting habitats and have a very curious history. Before the 2000s, they nest exclusively in the marsh that bathe Doñana, but in the last 20 years it has been observed that they have begun to move inland and have begun to nest on roadsides and the edge of gravel roads. The main objectives of our work are therefore to determine which factors influence beetle breeding habitat selection, and together with this study I have just told you, to determine whether anthropogenic variables are influencing this breeding habitat selection. Considering the biology of the study species we are dealing with, we expect that the most important environmental barriers will be soil type and percentage of coverture. Soil should be very important since beetles need a specific sand to clay ratio for their nest to stand and not to be hard to excavate. In addition, they tend to nest in cleared areas without a lot of trees above them, so we expect the percentage of cover to be important. Our second hypothesis is that within the anthropic variables, both traffic and the type of road will be very important, as it has already been seen in the field that from a certain threshold of cars per day, and depending on the composition of the road, they will or will not nest in the area. To carry out this study, we started with 1,155 georeferenced nests in the Doñana Natural Area in 2011, which you can see here above my camera. These nests were aggregated by colonize. Therefore, we generate the same number of absence with an aggregation similar to the original, since the aggregation factor in this analysis is very important. We select 9 variables that we consider relevant to explain nest habitat selection, such as soil type, distance to water, or percentage of cover, while other variables we consider were intended to measure the degree of human influence, such as type road, distance to the nearest road, or amount of traffic. With these variables, nests and absence, we create a database that we will analyze using generalized linear mixed model to see which variables best predict the presence of beetle nests. The first of our objectives was to determine which factors mainly influence the selection of nesting habitat. For this, we performed univariate GLMMs with our database, and we determined that the variables the most affect are the distance to water and the percentage of cover. To check if the anthropic variables had an influence on the selection of nest habitat, we decided to implement a null model, which contain the most important natural variables, which are distance to water and cover, and to make a model selection by adding in each one the null model plus one of the anthropic variables. The model with the lowest AEC turned out to be the one containing the null part plus the soil variable. This indicates that soil type is also a very important variable. In the first graph, we can see the number of nests and the number of absences that are on the edge of the road or completely away from them. And we can see that there is a big difference. There are many more nests on the edge of the road, and the absence are mainly far from the road. In the graph below, we can see that, as we expect, the percentage of cover has a negative influence on the probability of vehicle presence. As we can see, where there is a higher percentage of cover, the less chance there will be of nests. And as important conclusion, we have that both the distance to water and the percentage of cover are very important in the selection of nesting sites. And also, as we expect, the anthropic variables affect the selection of nesting habitats. And one of the most important is the type of soil. So far for my presentation, just thanks you for your attention and thanks to my co-author for his help. And I also leave you my email and Twitter if you want to contact me. And thank you very much.